Hey guys, it's Captain Forrest here, and today I'm guest appearing on Corin O'Keefe's channel. Welcome folks. Today I've got a spicy cross-verse matchup, and I'll be going over who I think wins more often than not in an equal stats battle: Rebirth Supergirl versus Bubbles from the Powerpuff Girls. So I'm going to go ahead and get right into this video, but before I start, just a quick shout outs to the HQ squad. Shouts to the Crusaders, shouts to Corin O'Keefe, Benjamin, Carimbus. You guys know who you are. Shouts to them. They also help me in my videos too. But yeah, let's get right into the meat and potatoes of things, and I'll start off with Supergirl and see what this Kryptonian brings to the table. So Supergirl's cells can absorb solar energy. The sun provides this energy for Supergirl, which grants her access to her Kryptonian powers. With her newfound powers, like her cousin Superman, Supergirl has demonstrated the ability to use heat vision. She can perform a widespread attack to target multiple enemies. She can also focus and fire a pinpoint blast at her foes in combination with her X-ray vision to seek out weak points. And she can also fire her heat vision on a microscopic level, which is very impressive. Supergirl is able to fly, perform a scream which cracks and damages nearby robots, and she has very impressive enhanced senses and hearing, which also helps her in combat too. Supergirl can perform ice breath to freeze her opponents. She can also tap into the power she absorbs from the sun, and she can burn her foes who grab her, and she can flex this energy at her to cause an AoE. Supergirl can create a small tornado to intercept attacks and suck up a group of people. It's also been shown that Supergirl's costume is indestructible and is the perfect suit to wear in harsh environments. Supergirl can also heat up objects, causing them to melt or blow up. Supergirl also shows great awareness and prowess in battle, such as using her senses to suss out her foe and take him down with heat vision, and utilize her ice breath to freeze lava around her. Supergirl is very resilient. She is able to push on and keep going despite being constantly weakened by kryptonite radiation in the atmosphere. She also has type 2 and type 3 self-sustenance. Supergirl does not require the need to eat or sleep as long as she has the sun to amp her. So that's going to round up Supergirl. Let's move on to Bubbles and see what this blue Powerpuff brings to the table. So Bubbles has superhero powers like her other sisters after being created by the professor himself. She can fly, she can use heat vision, she's capable of shooting energy from her hands, and like her other sisters, she's capable of using ice breath. She also can perform a sonic scream to deafen her foes, causing them pain. Bubbles also has some other abilities such as turning invisible. She can also create a tornado. She can also summon and create a field around her, which is made out of fire. She can also create clones of herself, and she can also turn her body into a puddle of water. She can spit out an atomic snot ball which explodes upon contact, and she also has some size manipulation, being able to shrink herself down. So that's going to round up Bubbles. Let's break this fight down to see who would win more often than not in an equal stats situation. Going over both combatants and looking at what they bring to the table, they are very identical in certain departments. Both combatants have heat vision, both are capable of using ice breath, both can fly, both have mobility. Supergirl, however, does have the edge in terms of like her suit. It is indestructible. She should also be nigh indestructible herself, her skin, since she is a Kryptonian herself, just like Superman and the rest of the other Kryptonian characters. They are naturally given this gift based on their absorption from the sun, since their cells can absorb the energy from the sun, which grants them their powers. I think that might be an issue for Bubbles. If Bubbles isn't able to incapacitate Supergirl if they get into a scrap, that could be an issue, since the indestructible skin vulnerability should probably help too. However, I think the issue here in character for Bubbles, in my opinion, is that some of the stuff that I mentioned for Bubbles, she doesn't really use in character per se. For example, like her other sisters, the Powerpuff Girls, they're all able to perform ice breath, but it's more like all of the Powerpuff Girls individually specialize in using specific abilities. For example, Bubbles mainly uses her sonic screech and sometimes uses heat vision. Blossom is more reliant on her ice breath. In fact, it was even shown in one of the episodes in the classic Powerpuff Girls, where there was a flaming meteoroid which was going to land on Townsville. Buttercup and Bubbles were heavily reliant on Blossom for her to use her ice breath to extinguish and of course intercept the meteor. So in character, I don't think she'd use like ice breath. In terms of invisibility, I don't think she'd use that either. There's context behind that episode because Buttercup was trying to basically outperform her sisters, but she was unable to, as they all could do the same thing, such as creating a fire shield around themselves. They can also create clones, transmutate themselves and turn themselves into a puddle of water, and also spit out a atomic snot ball which exploded upon contact, making themselves shrink and create tornadoes. So in this instance, I don't necessarily see Bubbles resorting to that in character. In terms of like Bubbles' personality, she's very aggressive. Now, people mistake Bubbles for some cute, happy-go-lucky pixie dust and ponies and unicorns, but deep down, she has like some type of berserker rage. She's built different when she's mad. Like she goes sicko mode, especially one of the episodes when she ripped these monsters apart. Both Supergirl and Bubbles have a lot in common in terms of personality. Like they're not like, for example, like Superman. Superman holds it back in character. Superman tries to take the soft approach, whereas Supergirl just doesn't care. Supergirl will literally beat the brakes out of someone and will break someone's arm and will literally break them into next week. So I think in character for both, they're both gonna fight like savages. They're gonna fight ruthlessly. Supergirl's indestructible skin will also help too, and her suit as well. So I think that might be an issue. Bubbles, I see her resorting to the Sonic Scream, but I think Supergirl would cancel it out with her own Sonic Scream. If they perform heat vision, they'd both get into a beam struggle. But in my opinion, I think Supergirl's a lot more smarter and more creative and more tactical, in my opinion, than Bubbles. Like, yes, Bubbles has demonstrated weapon improvisation, such as grabbing a tree or a nearby environment to slam and beat the living hell out of their opponent. But like Supergirl is just really creative. Like when she tries to break someone, she will target the nose, groin. She will resort to dirty tactics as well. And she's demonstrated more creativity with her heat vision. She doesn't just always spurg and blast it out. She will try to target weak points, or she will perform a widespread. And especially like with her self-sustenance, if it came down to like a battle of like, you know, war of attrition, I haven't seen like any like feats for Bubbles in terms of like how long she could fight for. I believe she has like a finite amount of time. Like it's been demonstrated by the Powerpuff Girls that they need to sleep and they need to replenish their energy, whereas Supergirl, she doesn't need to sleep, she doesn't need to eat. I think, in my opinion, this fight's gonna be long-winded. They're both gonna go at it, but I think as time progresses, Bubbles is gonna get a little bit worn down. She's gonna start getting tired. Supergirl, she's gonna be juiced up. Since it's standard battle assumptions, it will be in New York City and it will probably be in the afternoon, so the sun will be there. Supergirl is going to have all the self-sustenance she needs as long as the sun's out. She's going to be totally fine, she's going to be juiced up, and I think as time progresses, Bubbles will begin to tire. The finite limits of endurance will begin to dwindle, giving Supergirl the edge, and in my opinion, a good amount of difficulty. I do not think this fight is a stomp. Very high into mid, maybe high difficulty, but I have to lean a little bit more so to Supergirl. She just has a lot more working with her, especially with her Kryptonian powers, and she herself is very resilient. Even if she was to be weakened, she will not back down into, you know, she will keep fighting until she can't punch no more. But I just think that there's just more working for Supergirl in this instance. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. It's been a pleasure. I'll see you guys in the next one. And of course, it's been nice posting on Corin O'Keefe's channel. See you guys. Peace.